What's up everyone, welcome to a new Dragon Ball What If. This time I have part 2 of What If Janemba Turned Good. Last time we watched as Janemba was defeated and turned back into a simple teenaged Oni. His name was Psyche. Goku now wants to help him control that crazy power within him, but the path is not gonna be easy. Let's try to get this video to 4,000 likes to let me know that you want me to continue with the story. And enjoy. We pick up a few months after the end of the Buu arc. Goten and Trunks are hanging out, watching Goku train Psyche. Chi-Chi doesn't really like them hanging out around him since he's a true delinquent, listening to rock music and flirting with human girls left and right. Psyche has had a difficult time understanding ki control, but over time, he began to get it. He can now fly and sense ki, though keeping control of his emotions has been a challenge. One or two times, Goku and Vegeta have had to stop Super Janemba from wreaking havoc. Though, as Vegeta noted in the previous part, he's not nearly as malicious as he was when he first appeared. Slowly, it seems like Psyche is gaining control. He lives in a capsule home by Goku's home. Though originally he was gonna give him Grandpa Gohan's home, that just wasn't his style. Too old-timey. In his new place, he has posters from all the otherworld bands. He's also accompanied Gohan to school a few times, at Chi-Chi's request, though he doesn't learn anything and he quickly dropped out. Erasa, Videl and Gohan's classmate, thinks that he is really cute, but wonders why he's always in cosplay. Anyways, back during his training, Goku instructs Psyche into transforming. If he wants to control his super form, then he needs to figure out the trigger. For Super Saiyan, it's anger. It seems like it was something similar for this too, but be it as it might, it seems like he doesn't quite get it. A few times, parts of his first form show up. Perhaps he needs to master that first. Piccolo often comes and watches them train, and Piccolo has noticed that Goku's having trouble training him, wondering if the Saiyan is the right choice as a teacher for the kid. Eventually, the day comes where they are invited to Mr. Satan's hotel opening, aka Yo Son Goku and his friends return. No one wants to go, but Videl insists. Psyche is cool with it. He's learned to like a lot of Earth's customs, food, movies, and especially music, so he's actually kind of excited to see what this is all about. But at the hotel party, everyone senses a strange energy and goes to investigate. Turns out it's Vegeta's brother, Tarble, alongside his wife, Gure. They have come to Earth asking Vegeta's help in fighting Abo and Kado, two Frieza soldiers whom Tarble says are just as strong as Frieza. Vegeta wants Trunks to fight them while Goku wants Goten to fight them. That's when Piccolo interjects, saying that maybe it's time to test Psyche's power. Goku thinks this is a great idea, and Vegeta concurs, only because he wants to see how strong he's gotten since the last time they fought. Eventually, Abo and Kado land, with Psyche nervously walking towards them. This is his first time performing in front of everyone. But Goku reminds him that he gave Super Saiyan 3 a run for his money. These guys should be small fry. He just needs to show them that he can control his power. Psyche takes a deep breath and rushes towards them, quickly getting himself beat up. He's weaker than Goten and Trunks in base, so Abo and Kado make quick work of him. Vegeta isn't impressed, and Goku tries to coach him from the sidelines. Psyche slowly gets a hold of himself and starts to battle a little better, but it's still clearly not enough. Abo and Kado ask if this is really the best they have, with Tarble saying that maybe they should try something else. This upsets Psyche, who then tries to unleash Super Janemba, but he just can't do it. It's not listening to him. He talks to himself, confusing the soldiers, who slowly start to approach him. Finally, he starts to feel like something is sprouting. He's gonna be able to use it. Piccolo interrupts the transformation by saying that he's being useless, and Goku tells him not to be mean. But this actually angers Psyche enough to get inspired, transforming into First Form Janemba. This is a surprise to everyone. Almost none of them knew that he had this form. Only Goku saw it in action. The giant form destroys half of the hotel as the soldiers' scouters explode. Now they're getting nervous. He may look silly, but he's quite vicious. They have no option but to fuse into Akka. Akka begins fighting against Janemba, but every blow they land, they simply bounce off. When they fire a mouth blast, Janemba puts his hand out, creates a clone of Akka, who fires the blast right back. They follow up by rushing towards them, but they're quickly knocked to the ground by a simple slap. Defeated. It seemed like he was actually starting to get used to it. The giant Janemba celebrated on top of the hotel, with Mr. Satan weeping over its destruction. It took a while, but Psyche actually managed to return back to normal, after Goten and Trunks flew up to him and cursed at him, getting yelled at by Bulma and Chi-Chi. They just thought it was funny. Clearly, first form Janemba is the only one he can access as well, and it serves a similar purpose to like Super Saiyan 1 for example, a much stronger form than his base, but not nearly as strong as Super Janemba, nor as agile. Piccolo once again worries that Goku isn't the right master for Psyche, so after the party, Piccolo approaches him at the hotel. Goku isn't really insulted by it, he has had difficulties with him. His power and abilities are so much different than his own. Piccolo thinks that instead it should be him that trains him. After all, he's the son of the Demon King. He's dealt with demons before. Exactly what Janemba is. Goku agrees. He did a great job with Gohan, but only if he gets to train with them and fight. Thus, Psyche's training with Piccolo begins, moving the capsule house close to Piccolo's home. Psyche is terrified of Piccolo, and definitely likes Goku better. He's much more encouraging. Piccolo reminds him more of his boss back in Otherworld. But be it as it might, Psyche is learning a lot faster and growing a lot stronger thanks to Piccolo. Not only that, but Piccolo thinks that Gohan would be the perfect training partner for him whenever Gohan has free time. Gohan realizes that him and Psyche aren't that dissimilar from each other. They have a heart-to-heart, where Gohan explains that Piccolo was one of his father's worst enemies. But during the Saiyan conflicts, Gohan and Piccolo became good friends, and he slowly started to change. Piccolo actually used to be a lot worse than he is now. Psyche can't believe that, and asks Gohan if he was also left in the wilderness for 6 months, thinking he would prove a point. Gohan simply laughed, saying 6 months? Man, Piccolo has really mellowed out over the years. It was a whole year for him when he was just 4. Psyche and Gohan really bond over this, as Gohan tells him that he too had a problem controlling his power and his emotion. Both of those aspects of himself have always been linked, and it seems like it's similar for Psyche too. He made many mistakes along the way, but it was thanks to Piccolo and his father that he ended up being able to control it. Psyche was in good hands. This made him feel a lot better, and slowly, he began to control first form Janemba nearly perfectly. Super Janemba was still much more of a problem, but he's more stable than he used to be, and stronger. When Psyche and Janemba are in perfect sync, they are the strongest of the Z fighters, often even surpassing Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but he lacks discipline. Through these trainings, Psyche figures out that Super Janemba seems to almost be a being of his own to a degree. He is basically a legion of evil thoughts and souls that lives within him. Time keeps on passing by, and Psyche has gotten accustomed to Earth. When he gets invited to Bulma's birthday party, he hangs around Gohan and Videl during it, with Ereza also being there. She begged Videl to get invited, still crushing a little bit on Psyche, and still having no idea that he's not cosplaying. Goten and Trunks look up to him as well. He high-fives Trunks when he finds out that he has a girlfriend in the form of Mai, not knowing that he's lying. Now that the kids are a little bit older, he gets recommendations from them for music. No one knew the danger they were in when they set off on that cruise, as Lord Beerus and Whis appeared. They had been looking for the Super Saiyan god of legend. Vegeta tried to keep the peace, as Beerus hung around, with Psyche helping as much as he could as well. He was especially worried about Majin Buu. Him and his first form Janemba were quite similar, and he didn't really like that. He knew just how unpredictable he could be, so he tried to keep the peace. Even so, Beerus could sense that there was something weird about that kid, and he was surprised that one of the Yemelings lives on Earth. He must have been really naughty to be banished, but no matter what they did, Beerus would get upset. And this time, it was Psyche's fault. Like I said before, he loves his rock music. And while listening to it, he accidentally bumped into Bulma, who then bumped into Gohan, creating a domino effect that made Beerus spill his pudding. Even in a timeline where Beerus does get pudding, he doesn't really get it. Beerus gets extremely angry at him, as Beerus begins to attack. All the other Earth Warriors jump in to defend the planet. Even Psyche stands up to Beerus, with what little power he had. Beerus is excited to see exactly what his deal is. Why wasn't Oni here instead of Otherworld? He would surely get his answer now, but Psyche just can't transform. He says, "Come on, Janemba, help me out here. I'm not the angriest I've ever been, but I kinda need your help." No matter what he did, Super Janemba wouldn't show up, and Psyche didn't want to transform into his first form, since they are on a boat. But he doesn't have a choice. At least, he can control that one. Vegeta yells at him not to do it, but it's too late, as he transforms into Janemba, and the boat starts to tip because of his massive size. He rolls over to the side and onto the water, where him and Beerus begin a fight, while the whole boat tries to stay afloat. He actually surprises Beerus with a lot of his crazy moves, and they both get mad at each other. Beerus mocks Psyche, dodging many of his attacks, unlike anyone has ever done before, while Beerus gets mad at Psyche for creating portals and messing with bits of reality that make him annoying to deal with. This anger is about to trigger his transformation into Super Janemba. But what really tips him over the edge is when all the Z fighters are cheering for Janemba when Oolong accidentally steps on his Walkman, breaking it into pieces. Janemba sees this from afar and his body is engulfed. This is when we see inside of Janemba for a moment. He had been trying to access Super Janemba before, and it's always been anger that triggers it. Within, Psyche sees himself in front of a large cage, concealing the legion of evil that forms Janemba. In order to transform, some of those souls seep out and into him. But this time, as he watched his precious Walkman be destroyed, and Beerus continued to mock him and anger him, more and more of those souls seep through the cracks and into the young Oni. The door remains locked. He is still in control, but those dark souls attempt to anger him and gain control of him. Thanks to Piccolo's training, this can be prevented. Even so, Psyche is terrified every time this happens. Transforming into Super Janemba, Beerus thinks that it is crazy keeping someone like this on Earth, and maybe he should destroy him. He can sense nothing but negative energy within him, but he had to admit, he was really cool. Clearly, even stronger than the Super Saiyan 3 he fought at the King Kai's planet. With a twisted grin, Janemba made the first move, swinging his sword and sending a wave of distorted reality towards Beerus. The water all around him seemed to twist and shatter before reforming. Beerus, however, casually avoided the distortion, weaving between them like a dance. Beerus found this all very interesting, getting a quick bite of a donut as he continued to watch Janemba perform. Seeing Beerus unimpressed, Janemba roared and stomped the ground. Janemba moved his fingers in front of him, with a ki blast that looked like shards of glass shooting towards Beerus. Clearly, Janemba had some reality-altering powers, but Beerus simply created a ki ball in front of him and kicked it into the shards. They disintegrated upon impact. As the ki ball continued towards Janemba, what Beerus didn't expect was for Janemba to open a portal in front of him and one right behind Beerus, forcing Beerus to shoot himself with the ki ball. This one actually struck him. Janemba laughed as he rushed towards Beerus, but the God of Destruction thought that was quite enough. That's when Beerus, with a casual flick of his wrist, released a burst of his true power. He appeared right in front of Janemba as he rushed towards him, and in a quick combo of moves, he struck Janemba perfectly, knocking him out as the form shattered, and from within it, Psyche fell to the ground. Beerus, however, found him very interesting, hoping that he learned something from that. Beerus grabbed Psyche by the collar of his shirt. That's when Goku appeared. Before he could do any more damage to the kid, Goku declared that perhaps he had the answer to what Beerus was looking for, the Super Saiyan God. From here, Battle of Gods continues as normal. The God Ritual, the Super Saiyan God Goku, and Goku versus Beerus. Only this time, of course, Goku also thinks of Psyche when it's time to return to the power of the Super Saiyan God. Beerus decides not to destroy the Earth. There's clearly way too many interesting people here, and very good food. Rather than waiting some time to train with Whis and Beerus, Beerus requests of his angel to prepare Goku, Vegeta, and that Oni to fight him again one day. Aside from Goku and Vegeta having impressed him a lot, he also thinks he should keep an eye on the demon. He's way too dangerous to be kept on Earth. Whis simply laughs, saying that he thinks Beerus is just scared that his rank for God of Destruction may have some competition. Beerus gets mad while Psyche blushes in embarrassment. Goku thinks it would be great for him to join, but is he ready? Piccolo steps up, saying that he still struggles to control Super Janemba, but Gohan had trouble controlling his power too. He thinks that if he continues to train him, while he also spends some time at Beerus' planet, then perhaps that will be the key. Maybe he just needs a bit more support. Goku nods at Piccolo. If he thinks Psyche can do it, then he can do it. Psyche is excited about this. He performed the best out of any of the Z fighters besides Goku against Beerus, and that power is kind of getting to his head, but he's fine with dividing his time between Earth and Beerus' planet. Whis agrees. He lacks many of the fundamentals, which Piccolo will be perfect for. Whis, on the other hand, will get him stronger and get him to be more at peace with himself. There are techniques the angels and the gods of destruction have that require them to be calm, and even if that doesn't work, Beerus is just as hot-headed as Janemba is, so maybe he can take notes from him. Beerus rolls his eyes, but he's very excited to see just what Janemba can end up doing. Between two potential Super Saiyan gods and an extremely powerful demon, these should be a fun couple of years. Thus, their training at Beerus' planet begins. But that's where we'll leave off for now. What do you guys think of Psyche and his new developments? Let me know in the comments down below what you think will happen to him and how he'll continue to grow. This one has been super fun to write. Janemba is an incredibly versatile fighter, so I'm excited to see what else I can do with him. I'll have to start to get even more creative as Psyche starts to control Janemba even more. So, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode in the comments below. Again, let's try to get this video to 4,000 likes. And share with your friends who like Dragon Ball. A huge thank you to the patrons of the channel. It's always thanks to you guys that I can get these videos out. Patrons can watch videos like this early, and even a patron exclusive series, What If Bulma Married Goku? Part 2 is coming soon. Thank you to the patrons of the channel. Daruv, Awasti, The Shadows, Anders Wallen, NSman1, Chandler Draws Things, Tusky59, Indigo Saturn 64, Earth Dragon, Gerald Smith, Jake King, Softer Cat, Arvin Selman, Faffing About, Kitsune Jester, Kaiju Monarch, Shadow Paradox, Eric Jenkins, Evan Webb Stewart, Losayan 997, Orange Crimsicle, Chris Macareno, Mao Lick, Daddy, Cyber Samurai, Ryan Wilpula, Beastie Man 420, Akko, D-Man for Life, Blaze 9526, Chris PlayStation CK, Free Flow Highway, Jamie Pollard, Mystic Angel, Shane K, True Lightning Striker, Ghost 1571, Trent Rules, D-Man Plays 22, Jim G, Jerome Foster, Salil Paranjape, Keith Grimes, Dreadpool, and Samuel Randall. Thank you guys for your support as always. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to check out my other videos, subscribe, all that good stuff, and until we meet again. See ya!